Alright, so we're back. We have a hand that's a little slow, but I think I have to keep it just because both Electrolyze and Snapcaster are so good in this. Both Electrolyze and Is It Staticaster are so good in this matchup, and it like has a very reasonable game plan of just stalling the game into a batter skull, which I don't think he's going to be able to beat. This is the bad part for me, but I'm not as afraid of Goblin Guide out of this deck as out of a burn deck, where it just where every damage you take is just such a disadvantage. Whereas this deck, I'm very comfortable going down all the way down to like 6 life, and I probably won't be concerned. I'd like to stay above 9, which is above Goblin Grenade plus Lightning Bolt if I can, but I mean, I assume Lightning Bolt's gonna happen on my creatures a lot of the time, and even if it doesn't, it's not that easy for him to get me down to 9 life. It's I think it's more about interacting with his creature as well. If he attacks with both, I'm just gonna block the Legion Loyalist. It's good enough that I'm just happy to trade. And similarly, next turn, if he only has the Goblin Guide, I'll just play Snapcaster to block. My hand's so good going into the late game that I'm perfectly willing to trade my resources slightly less effectively at the beginning of the game. And so I'm happy to draw either spells or lands. If my top card is really good, if it's like a Lightning Bolt or a Tasigur, I guess I won't fetch, I'll just take this hit. Yeah, so I'm just gonna play this Tasigur. He has Blood Moon, so I wanted to fetch a bit around Blood Moon anyway. I'm not gonna try to fetch that hard around Blood Moon. I just want a blue mana. I'm not like that concerned if I get caught off of black mana, especially if I already have a Tasker in play. So yeah. Yeah, so now I'm just stalling a bit until I get to Batter Skull. Yeah, so I'm just gonna attack. I don't think my opponent is gonna block. And then on his turn, I'm gonna play Staticaster. He does block. Okay, well, my plan backfired a little bit, but oh well. Yeah, so my plan is on his turn, I'm going to Staticaster, Goblin Guide, and kill his. I'm going to Staticaster to block his Goblin Guide, and I think probably kill his Foundry. Still kill his token probably. So drawing a land is great. I think this is likely to die of bolts, in which case like my whole plan just probably backfires a lot, but I'm still at a pretty high life total, so I'm not like exceedingly concerned about it. And especially if he uses bolt here, then there's not a lot to fear. And yeah, like if he does ultimately kill this, I'd much rather Apostle's Blessing targeting Goblin Guide. I don't know what this does, but okay, my opponent's done it. Yeah, so I don't think the Foundry Street Denizen is so much better than the token that I'm going to go to great lengths to fight the better one. Okay, so I would have been pretty okay if he blocked there. Given that he didn't, I think I want to play Serum Visions to make it more likely I play Batter Skull next turn. I don't think it's so important that I play Electrolyze over Lightning Bolt that I'm willing to give up the card selection here. Yeah, so now I've got... maybe something weird can happen to me with featuring the Foundry Street Denizen, but I've got Bolt up, I've probably got Murderous Cut up. So my Tasker is dead, which is sad-ish, I guess. Yeah, with my scry that turn, like, it's possible that I wanted the Angler, but this Batter Skull is so likely to be sufficient that I just wanted to like look for more interactive spells, like more Serum Visions, more Snapcasters, more removal spells. I mean, there's not really a wrong way to play this game at this point. I think my opponent's stuck on lands. He probably has like cards like Blood Moon and Shared Animosity in his hand that no longer do anything, and I have a Batter Skull in play against his mono red deck. These things in combination are all very good to me. All very good for me. So at the end of his turn, I'll probably just bolt, Snapcaster, bolt, Dragon's Claw. Alright. So if I bolt Snapcaster, bolt him, he goes to 4, and then yeah, he's dead to Electrolyze. Alright. So pretty convincing victory. Yeah. Alright, I'll be back for round 2.